Hi, and welcome to AnimalZone. I'm Arthur von Wiesenberger, and this handsome fellow is Mikey, my adopted pit bull. AnimalZone is the A to Z on everything about adoptable pets. Whether you're looking for a bird, a cat, a dog, or even a tortoise, we've got experts who can share their knowledge and insights. So cuddle up with your favorite critter and join us as we explore the AnimalZone. This week, Jeffyne Telson of ResQcats introduces us to a cluster of kittens. And then we join a CalPoly professor of animal sciences and their amazing Doggie Days at a San Luis Obispo homeless shelter. After that, we'll be visiting the Woods Humane Society to tour their fantastic new facility. So get ready for some perfect purrs as we paw our way into the AnimalZone.
Bonjour Alex.
Bonjour Renaud.
Happiness? It's great food prepared the French way.
Chocolate eclair.
What makes you happy?
A touch of Paris.
Without the trip to France. Handcrafted daily in our bakeries especially for you. Indulge yourself.
Bon appétit.
Please visit Renaud's in Gelston, Santa Barbara, Long Beach, and La Cañada, Flint Ridge.
The Santa Barbara Humane Society is an independent, local, community-based nonprofit with adoptable animals ready to find a forever home today.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we provide low-cost spay and neuter services and vaccinations. It's important for your dogs and cats to get vaccinated to prevent illnesses. And spay and neuter surgeries help prevent unwanted pregnancies and can benefit the health of your pet.
At the Santa Barbara Humane Society, we want you to adopt, not chop.
Today we're at ResQcats with Jeffyne Telson. And Jeffyne, you have got some new residents here, don't you?
I do. 'Tis the season.
The kitty season,
We have
huh?
lots of kittens, and today I'm going to show you everything from 8 weeks all the way down to just about a week old.
It's going to be hard not to take a few home with me,
I'm
you know?
going to check pockets before you go.
I'm a sucker for kittens.
And if you do take any that are young, you will need to go home with a jar of KMR, kitten milk replacement, and a bottle and an alarm for every 2 hours so that you can get up and bottle feed it.
You mean no sleeping?
No.
Wow, well, at second thought, maybe we'll just go visit them here.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I see a little one just playing there. It looks awfully cute.
Yes, that is little Aphrodite, and sometimes she'll come out, but she looks pretty busy. That's her sister up there, Sweetheart. Let me see if I can.
How old is Aphrodite?
She is 8 weeks exactly.
Oh my.
Yep, she got her first vaccine the other day.
Hi, Aphrodite. How are you? Oh, is this scary? Yeah, you know.
Let me
that
get
I
her
love
sister.
kittens. Oh my God. Yeah, welcome to the AnimalZone.
Oh, and listen.
Oh, I'm hearing purring
Yeah,
already.
there's nothing like a purr.
So now, when a kitten purrs, does that mean it's happy? Is it anxious? What's
No,
going on?
it does mean that it's happy, but cats can also purr when they're dying. So, and there's a couple of theories of how they purr physically, and nobody's really knows for sure how they manage to do that.
Because we had a kitten that was purring a lot when she first arrived, and now the purr is almost silent. How does that happen?
I haven't.
Maybe she's not happy.
I haven't the foggiest. So.
Oh, these are pretty cute. Now, from the same mom, but totally different in looks.
From the same mom, there could be different dads.
No
and their
kidding.
half-sister is in the next enclosure, and she is pregnant. So we actually had their mother, who had these two this year. We have the daughter from last year, who is pregnant and expecting any minute. Want to go back up there?
I think Aphrodite wants to go play too.
Well, we have someone coming tomorrow that adopted probably 15, 16 years ago from here, and both of those kitties have gone. They have passed. And the couple has young kids. I think they're 7 and 9, and they are coming tomorrow, and I'm going to introduce them to these two.
What's the right age for a kitten to come to a home with children?
Well, a lot of that depends on the children. I mean, there are 4-year-old kids that are great, and there are 4-year-olds that are absolute terrors. I've walked through here several times thinking which kitten is going to survive this child. There are 9-year-olds that are great, 9-year-olds that wouldn't be good. So part of what we do at ResQcats is really work on trying to make sure we get the right kitten with the right person. Mm-hmm. The kittens leave here when they're about, say, 9 to 10 weeks old. That's given us a chance to go through our whole medical protocol and get them, tested, vaccinated, spayed, neutered, microchipped.
And they're off the bottle.
Yes.
You can sleep through the night, in other words. Well, maybe
not.
Well,
I have a foster that does all of that. I don't have time to do it, although I have done it and I love it. But when you're running an organization, I think dawn to dusk is about all I can handle. So, and that's what the days are right now.
When you have cats and kittens, the kittens grow up and they kind of become a little bit bigger than a kitten. I mean, sort of not yet an adult cat, but somewhere in between.
Teenage.
Kind of a teenager. Mm-hmm. Do they go through like the terrible twos? Is there a stage where kittens are a little more aggressive or a little more feisty?
Oh, I think it's easier when you have a little bit older cat. Even when they're a year old, they've calmed down. I encourage people to come in here and at least consider these young moms. The young moms can get pregnant at 6, 7, 8 months old. They have a litter when they're 8, 9, 10 months old, and they've missed out on kittenhood. And they still have all that fun, playful, want to chase the toy, all those kinds of things, but they're also not climbing the curtains and destroying everything. So there's, everybody wants little ones because they think that they can mold their personalities. The personalities are already set. Some of them are, it's like we have a dog that's 10 years old and you'd think he was still 2 the way he acts. So it's different with different cats.
When I walk down the aisles in pet stores, I see all this cat food. There's so many companies that are making cat food and kitten food. What's the transitional age from where you are getting the kitten food to where you start to go get cat food?
Well, if you're doing a strictly kitten food, it's at about a year. Although they do have a lot of new foods out there that are called all life stages, meaning that it's based on good nutrition for the cat or the kitten, and it's just a matter of how much you feed them. So we have a formula that we're using here for the first time this year, and everybody seems to like it, and it is in all life stages for cats and kittens. So veterinarians are not always familiar with that new kind of concept in the food industry, but the pet stores can really give you a good education on that. And
when it comes to types of cat food, there's chicken and there's duck and there's fish, of course. Is there anything that's better for a kitten or a cat than other? There's a lot of theories about that. Some people don't think that feeding their cats fish is good. And others think it's fine. It's always changing, Arthur. I mean, the research and everything is always changing. I think it's good to have the cats at least on some sort of a canned diet along with the dry kibble, because that puts more moisture in their body. It helps the kidneys function a little bit better. So that's why you'll look down here and we feed both. Now, I don't see any dishes of milk. Is that a fallacy?
No, yeah.
No dairy?
No.
For kitties?
No.
Now, what I've also heard, and I know this is apocryphal, that if you want a cat to stay around the house, when you bring them to the house, you put a little butter on their paws. Is that true or false? I don't know. You have to get back to me on that. Okay, all right. Well, you want to take us on our little tour, the kitty tour at ResQcats. Hey, take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Every morning you could count on it being there with the rise of the sun. We're proud to say we've been there every day with you. The Santa Barbara News Press plans to continue sharing the news of the day with you all through the year and beyond. It's nice to know there are some things you can still count on. The Santa Barbara News Press, serving Santa Barbara since 1855.
Subscribe today. Call 1-800-654-3292.
So I'm going to introduce you to Starla. Starla is a little stray pregnant cat that came to us a couple of weeks ago. She was found up in San Luis. And last week, this is Starla. Hi, gorgeous eyes. Last week about this time, she decided that she was going to give birth to 6 kittens. And these are a couple of her babies. So you're getting to see these at only a week old. Their eyes are not open, although in the next 2 or 3 days they will start to kind of wink at you and open. Their ears are closed whenever they're born, and by the time they're about 3 weeks, they'll be standing up. Let's see if another one will let me. Pretty cute, huh? You know, when they have this many, I get to be part of it and see it because she did it during the day. I just feel like I've got 6 little miracles in here that all just came out perfect. You think about that. A stray cat out on her own, not knowing where her next meal is, gets pregnant and has 6 perfect little babies. So you can tell she's a little bit tenuous and wants to know where her baby is, and she's going to clean my scent off. So, a week old. So I'm going to introduce you to Bella. The first little kittens that you met over here next door belonged to a mom from this year. This was her kitten from last year, and she is as pregnant as can be. I would guess she's going to have kittens in the next probably week or so. And someone asked me earlier if I could tell how many kittens are in there, and I can't. But the way you can get a good idea is to take her into the vet and they can do a quick ultrasound. And because they're really squished in there. And as big as she looks now, you'd be amazed at how big they can really get. So when she comes in to her crate and she starts messing up with the blankets, it's what we call nesting, and that's a good sign that she's getting ready, and she has already started doing that. The nesting can last anywhere from just a couple of hours before she has the babies to a week. So it's always a guessing game, so because we don't know when they got pregnant. And another interesting fact is there can be more than one dad in the litter, which would explain why some of the other kittens that you're going to see today look so different from each other. So I'm going to introduce you to Shiva. Shiva was pulled from a high kill shelter along with her 4 little babies. She's only been here a couple of days. You can probably come in with that. And she is a sweetheart. Can you? Oh, she's nursing. I hope you can get that. And see, it's comforting for her because she's in there making biscuits too. She's a tortoiseshell, and how she ended up with 2 white kittens and 2 black ones, I will never know. I can understand the black ones because of her coloring, but where the white ones came from, that could be a sign that there were 2 different dads. Oh, do you see that little tummy? So, Arthur, this is Jade. She is 2 weeks old. You can see her eyes are open. Her little ears are almost up. She's still nursing with her mom. You want to hold her?
Oh, yeah. And tell me, why does Jade have blue eyes? Little kittens seem to have blue eyes.
All kittens have blue eyes when they're born, and they start to change, if they're going to change, at about 6.5 to 7 weeks. The little Siamese ones, their eyes don't change. They stay blue, but hers, as a little tabby, will start to change. They'll be either green or gold. Look,
she
she's
is absolutely
sniffing.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you know, Jade is my favorite color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to take that bottle in the KMR home, you can.
I think it's a deal. Jeffyne, thank you so much.
Very welcome.
This has been the best day at Rescue Cats, and we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with more Animal Zone. Bye. take a look at these loving animals that you can adopt today. And don't worry, if someone beats you to the shelter, there are plenty more wonderful animals ready to find you and their forever home.
Care for Paws was started in 2009 with a goal to reduce pet overpopulation and keep animals out of shelters, and also to ensure that pets can stay with their owners for life. We, from the get-go, established a free spay and neuter program that would help low-income pet owners fix their pets. So we provide shots, microchips, dewormer, flea treatment. We also have a veterinary intervention program. It's a way for us to help improve the quality of life for the animal as well for the owner, because when an animal suffers in the family, so does the rest of the family.
We're here with Dr. Jennifer Staniec, who is a lecturer at CalPoly school out here in San Luis Obispo. And it's such a pleasure to be here and learn a little bit about what you do called Doggie Days. What is Doggie Days?
Doggie Days is a program that actually has been a collaboration between the Prado Day Center here, which provides services for our local homeless community, as well as CalPoly University with regard to some of the students that actually participate in some of the classes at CalPoly.
So your students are trained early on how to deal with veterinarian skills, right? And then they apply those here at the homeless shelter?
Yeah, this is an opportunity for the students to actually get hands-on experience, which is what everybody wants, right? Everybody wants to be able to do that if they're heading off to vet school, because that can be difficult to do. So in the course that I teach at CalPoly, it's called the Veterinary Community Service Enterprise. My students and I come out to the Prado Day Center, usually about once a month, and we provide basic veterinary care for those in the homeless community for their pets. Things like vaccines, parasite control, basic skin problems, those sorts of things.
It's really important because a lot of these animals need care, and of course it's expensive if you go to the average veterinarian service. So you're bringing in free services to the folks here, and their animals are really like their family members, right?
Correct, absolutely. This Enterprise's course and just the services that we're able to provide really brings a light to the human-animal bond, and the students get to understand that a little bit better. They get to obviously have the experience with regard to the animals, but they learn how to engage with clients. They learn, in the course, they learn things like budgeting and inventory. So it's kind of a big enterprise. So it has a lot of different things that it provides for the students, and there's a lot that it actually services for our local community as well.
Now, a lot of us may have seen folks that are homeless or that are with their pets on the streets, and sometimes people feel sad for the animals, but they also seem to get a lot of love and affection from their parents, as it was. Can you expand a little bit about how that relationship is and why it's important?
Yeah. So what we found out when we participate in this program by hearing the stories, a lot of our clients, just how important their animals are to them. The bond that they have, the security they provide, the friendship that they offer to them. It gives them an opportunity for responsibility, to engage in just care for someone else who loves them unconditionally, and who doesn't want that, right? Right? So I think it's a beautiful opportunity for us to be able to provide that service to individuals who may not be able to do it on their own, whatever their circumstances are. And that's not what we're here for. We don't care about the circumstances. We're here to help the animals, the clients, and our community. It expands out into our community for the services that we provide.
Now, the veterinarian school is a pretty intense course, isn't it? I mean, it takes a lot of years to get through that and then get on to wherever you go next, to veterinarian school. How many years do your students have to go through your courses?
Well, typically what happens, CalPoly is an undergraduate school, and so we have students that are pre-vet students in our animal science majors. And so what they're going to do is spend about 4 years of undergraduate, and then they'll go on to professional schools, and that'll be an additional 4 years. And that's where once they graduate from CalPoly, they'll find a veterinary hospital in the United States where they can actually go on to their professional school. But our goal at CalPoly is to give them as much experience as they can, so that when they do apply to those veterinary colleges, they have a really good resume that shows that they've had that experience, not just textbook stuff, not just classroom stuff, but be able to get out there and engage.
Are there a lot of opportunities for vets these days?
Gosh, I think the idea of not just veterinarians, but the animal science field in general, there's a lot of different opportunities for people in that field. There's certainly local things, just general practitioners. There's specialists that specialize in different areas of the veterinary medicine. There's things working in public health. There's government positions. There's WHO positions. There's the One Health Initiative that has a lot of veterinarians working and participating with general practitioners and those in the environmental protection field, all those kinds of things.
Now, there's a lot of things I've been reading about since we've been doing this show that have been eye-openers. One of them being the fact that dogs have such a great sense of smell, much better than ours. Have you discovered other things that are kind of remarkable about dogs or cats?
You know, animals in general, they're all unique. Don't get me wrong. They each have their own personality. But there's a lot that animals intuitively reflect on humans. They can pick up on nervousness, anxieties, things like that. And they're there to be, I think, really good comforters for those of us that may have anxieties or just need that special kind of nudge from them, or a lick, or just to come to sit by us, those sorts of things that we have when we have a difficult day. So animals are intuitive that way. They're really great at engaging, and so they don't judge, which is awesome, right?
Yes, some people I know.
Totally.
What's the best thing you can do for your animal? I mean, is training an important thing? Is behavioral issues something? I mean, feeding, these are all different aspects that are so important.
Well, I think you kind of have to look at it from a perspective of what you would want for yourself. Would you want a good diet? Would you want to be healthy? Would you like to have good social skills? I mean, all of those things we can actually say we want for our pets as well, as part of our family, right? So we want to make sure that we also provide preventative care. Certainly for the animals that we see, that's a big part of what we do. We give them vaccines to prevent for diseases that are preventable. We try to coordinate for good nutritional supplements, or providing diets and foods for them through other organizations that will help supplement and provide those for the individuals here and the clients and their animals. We want to do those things for them just like we would want those done for us. So being able to provide that, I think, is really important.
One of the things we've seen is chiropractors and also acupuncturists working with animals. Is there some science to that?
Absolutely. I think the major thing is I think the holistic medicine is kind of given a negative poo-poo kind of idea, but everybody should be treated as a whole, right? So we should look at the individuals, not just as humans, but animals, and treat them as a whole. Whether that be that they benefit from Eastern medicine, Western medicine, chiropractic work, physical therapy, all those sorts of things that I think we've taken for granted in the past for animals, we're starting to see come to the forefront, added to the treatment plans that we offer. It's not just a pill, but we're also going to put you through physical therapy. Maybe there is behavior modification that needs to take place for some of the patients. You know, learning how to control our anger. We do that for animals, right? We just need to find out and figure out what's the best techniques to do that.
Fantastic. Well, Dr. Jen, this is so interesting to be here. Thank you for inviting us in, and we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we've got more AnimalZone.
My grandfather taught me about the beauty of the rugs. Each one tells a story. Story about the person who wove it, the person who bought it, the person who inherits it, the person who treasures it. It's amazing how simply looking at an object can bring you back to a different place and time, or remind you of someone you love. At Santa Barbara Design Center, we want to help you find a rug that will travel through time with your family for generations to come. Visit us at 410 Olive Street and find your treasure today.
The Santa Barbara County Animal Care Foundation is dedicated to saving animals' lives, but we need your help to continue this critical work. SBCACF provides year-round medical and surgical care so that abandoned, homeless, or abused animals receive the best second chance at finding a loving home.
No animal is turned away from surgical care.
To learn more and assist us in keeping that pledge, visit sbcanimalcare.org and make a donation today.
If they can be saved,
we want to save them.
We're here with Steve Kragenbrink, who is with the Woods Humane Society, and we're so thrilled to be in here, and we're in the cat area, right?
We're in our cattery. It's a new cattery. We built it couple of years ago, and it's really been helping us reduce that length of stay that we have for the cats, creating a comfortable environment for them, reducing their stress levels, and making them more adoptable.
Well, just looking around, I think if I was a cat, I'd just want to stay here. It's
Exactly.
so comfortable. They like have their own little rooms, and they sometimes are together with other cats. Does this help in the socialization of cats?
I would say it helps with the socialization aspects of cats that are already social. Some cats, they might not necessarily want to be around other cats. They might not even know that they're cats. And so, we do have areas that can accommodate those types of animals as well. But what it's really helped with is when that potential adopter is coming into a shelter and they're trying to find their new best friend, they can come into a really comfortable environment, sit down, relax, spend some time with the cats in a comfortable environment where they're comfortable as well. And really, we're able to make those matches a lot quicker. And I think they're it's more of like a meaningful match that happens as well.
I'm looking at the cats who all seem to be so content, and they even have little, what do you call them, catios?
Yeah,
Places
catios.
outside, they can go outside?
It's kind of like a little resort for these animals, I feel. They get so much love and attention from our volunteers and from our staff. But we built this facility specifically with their emotional state in mind, with their health in mind. And by doing that, we've been able to reduce, common illnesses that you might even see in a shelter environment related to stress. We've all but eradicated them in our environment here at Woods Humane Society. And really, it's about creating that comfortable environment for folks to come out and get to know their new best friend and to facilitate that adoption and make it as easy as possible.
It's a cool design. Who came up with the design?
We work with a wonderful company called Animal Arts, and they're fabulous, they're fantastic, and they're in the business of animal shelters.
And you mentioned that up here you have the cats, and then they have other areas they can go to.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a bunch of other areas for the cats to be in for themselves, and we kind of have it staged where those new cats come in. They're in different housing facilities where they have multiple levels where, they have if they want to be seen, they can be seen, but they can go hide, they can eat, and of course they can go and use the restroom in a different area as well. And that then kind of translates and moves and evolves into maybe in this open cattery environment where they can come in and out, they can go outside on their catios, they might be more in that environment with a couple other cats, or again, if it's a cat that wants to be left alone or just is happy being by themselves, we can accommodate that as well. One of the things that's great about this new cattery that we have, though, is that we're able to bring in cats that have FIV or FELV and house them in an environment that keeps them happy, healthy, comfortable, and it's helping us get them adopted as well. These are animals that we might have seen previously sitting around for very long periods of time. That length of stay was exceptionally long for these animals, where now, they're in and out just the same as all the other cats that we have.
What do you do about kittens?
What does anybody do about kittens? Wait for them to hit. So we're able to house kittens as well. We have areas where we can designate specifically for those kittens to be, and we try to do that for their health purposes. Their immune systems are still developing and still growing. But no, same kind of environment for the kittens where, they can get a little rambunctious too. So I think these older cats do tend to appreciate that they're not being stuck with kittens. It's like a bunch of teenagers with the retired folks. It doesn't always work sometimes. But we're able to really focus on those kittens, and kittens do such a great job of selling themselves and finding those homes pretty quickly. Where I get concerned and where I really engage and jump in is once they start kind of aging into those teenage years, and then they start growing, and I want to see all those kittens find homes before they're moved into the adult areas of the shelter.
Well, it's great being here I think it's Club Med for kitties right now, and appreciate you having us in here today, Steve.
Welcome.
Great. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we've got more AnimalZone.
Hi, I'm Carrie Burns, and I'm the Executive Director for the Santa Barbara Humane Society. And what we want you to know is that Humane Societies are local to each community. No one is associated with the National Humane Society. So when you donate or you adopt, know that everything that you touch is right there in your own backyard. We want you to donate, volunteer, and adopt. For more information, visit sbhumanesociety.org.
Weren't there some amazing animals and guests? You who adopt animals from shelters, you are the true heroes. If you want to see more about AnimalZone and other things, check out our website, animalzone.org, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Never was a friend so true, never was a friend like you. Canine, you're my best friend. Canine of mine, friend for all time. So glad you're my best friend. Through thick and thin, we'll see things through. Canine of mine, so true. find you or did you find me? Either way, it's still serendipity. When I saw you, it was plain to see you weren't just another lassie wannabe. Oh, canine of mine, friend for all time. I'm so glad you're my best friend.